All right, my dear friend, we are going to discuss, I'm going to share what the next 2 weeks is going to look like and give you an idea of what you can expect over that time. And then I'm going to cover a little bit of business, a little bit of orders of business. I would encourage you guys that anybody who is involved in, I'm moving my notes here on my computer. Anybody who's involved in this process needs to watch this video. If you're a pastor who really cares about the outcome of this, the worship leader and pastor, executive pastor, technical people, any and all technical people, they all need to watch this video. So feel free to pass it around. You have my permission to do so. So first thing we're going to do, which you probably have already done or you're about to do, the salesperson has said, hey, this is the next step. You're going to schedule our phase one. And what that is, that means that you guys are going to provide us a dedicated computer that we can work on remotely. And we're going to log into that computer. It cannot be your live stream computer. It cannot be your ProPresenter computer. It cannot be a computer that you guys need to use during service, because my guy and your guy or girl could be fighting for the mouse. That's bad. We don't want that. Go buy a $500 refurb Mac Mini if you don't have one. Like, they're cheap. You know what I'm saying? If you want a link, I'll send you one. Happy to do that. So what's going to happen on that call is that we're going to walk you through connecting a USB cable from your digital mixer into this computer. It's a cable that looks like, hold on, I have one right here somewhere. It looks like this. It looks like a printer. See? Square. This plugs into the computer. You might need an adapter if all of your ports on your computer are Type C and not Type B. You might need an adapter. You might need to buy that. So we're going to do that. We're going to log into the computer. It's good if your console is already networked, meaning you control it with an iPad or an iPhone. That's good, because we're going to have to do that. We can help you with any of that if you need help. If you don't know what to do about anything that I just said, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Our technician will walk you through it. So we use Slack, which is, it's just, I don't know if you've heard of Discord or like WhatsApp or whatever. It's just really, it's premium business communication. It's basically like instant messenger. Long term, my whole team, your whole team will be on that Slack channel. And that's how we're going to communicate. Now, we are going to initially text you to get things going. You're free to use that. But I want you to know that anything germane to what's happening with the service, our engineer is going to be there. My whole team, your whole team, everybody's going to be there for record's sake. To keep everybody on the same page, you really need to use Slack. It's not hard to use. There's an app. Like I said, it's not hard to use. Another thing to mention that would be good to know about, honestly, really all calls that you will have with one of my technicians is that they have been mostly instructed to just text with you. Now, the reason being for that, which I'm sure you'd agree, is that there's little to no point in y'all just sitting on the phone listening to one another breathe for 30 minutes. With maybe something to say here and there, because they're going to have a lot of work to do. They're going to be in the computer. They're going to be installing some stuff. So I would prepare you to be prepared. Please don't think anything about that. Even that being said, when they're done with their work, if you'd like to speak with them to address some questions, that is perfectly fine. Just tell them. They'll call you. And y'all can talk as long as you want to talk and address any questions that you have. Or feel free to text us in advance any questions you might have. We're here for you, to serve you, and address any of that. I'm just telling you, I want to prepare you for the fact that they're probably not going to initiate that, primarily because we don't really need to do it. Like, this phase one is really easy. It's just connecting the cable, getting us in the computer. We install some stuff. We're done. Shouldn't take any longer than 30 minutes, and it's pretty much it. But what we're going to do after that, we're going to schedule what we call your phase two, and that's when we're going to do a multi-track recording of your next service. And because I need that to build your mix. See, I build your mix from a post-production recording, which is going to be me. It's going to be me. I do that, me personally. And then, so how the timeline will go would be like, today's Monday. Say, for example, you booked your phase 1 tomorrow. Unless your drummer calls out or unless you really don't want to record this coming Sunday, all else is normal going on with you. We would record this Sunday, and I would have you a proof of concept mix, post-production mix to listen to. Actually, probably in 7 to 9 days or less than that if it was later in the week. Anyway, 24, 48 hours, maybe 72 hours after the recording, you will hear from me. And I will send you a proof of concept mix to be like, I like that, I don't like that, turn the bass down, that's too wet. This helps me understand your taste. You understand what I'm saying? Helps me understand what you're into, what you're not into, what you're giving me to work with. And then I'm building all of that. And when you sign off on that, when you like it, we do a phase 3 call, which you will have to schedule, which we'll send you a link to schedule. It's called live implementation. So we're going to take that mix session that I built, and that's going to go on your computer. And then all the little things and this and that routing, what's going to happen. Again, I'm going to put that session on the computer. We've got to route that audio to your live stream setup. And there are more than one ways to go about doing that. I can't lay them all out in this call. Just we'll tell you what to do to ensure that happens. And then we'll assign you an engineer who will be trained and equipped by me to mix your taste and all that stuff. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, you still going to need to talk to them. You're still going to need to say, hey, I really wish you had done this different after this past service. I heard this, I didn't like this. Please communicate that. Communicate that on Slack. Honestly, you're probably never going to stop having to do that because we're flawed. Everybody's flawed. Things change. You know what I'm saying? It's natural for mixes to drift. You know what I'm saying? And we can prevent that by communicating. Another thing you can do if you feel like he's not doing what you like, you can ask me and I will look at it myself anytime you want. I mean, obviously, if I'm having to do that like once a week, somebody's screwing up. We obviously don't want that, but I'm always available. Access to my calendar. If you want me to look at it during the week to be like, what's going on? Why did they not like it? I'm always happy to do that. So here's another thing, and this is a hard thing that I hope you can hear. As it pertains to any on-site tech personnel, this isn't something I really feel like I have to say, but I'm going to say it because it could be important. I'm not talking about pastoral leadership. I'm not talking about the people who we're working for, who's being hired by us. I'm talking about your foot soldiers, your audio volunteers, your media volunteers. I have to say something very straight and direct to you. This isn't a collaboration between us and them. We're doing this. They must follow our instructions to the letter. And if they don't, or they decide they know better, or even if they make an honest mistake, and people do that, if they don't follow our instructions when it comes to, hey, so we have to make changes to your console, nothing super invasive, just routing the signal through here and out of the console, nothing crazy. But we have to save that, and you have to load that, and you can only load that. Now, a lot of pastoral leadership are like, well, let's go. Because that means, you know what I'm saying? I have horror stories that I could tell you that would honestly, you would be in a hot shower in the fetal position. One of them was this church was like, they had 3 sound guys. They brought me in. They paid me like $3,000 to come to fly to their church in Houston, set up a new console, and to make their 3 engineers stop all using their own scenes. If they didn't listen, they went right on back to doing whatever they wanted to do, and that church wasted $3,000. This part is on you. This part is on you. You guys just have to do what we're telling you. Doesn't mean we won't talk. Doesn't mean we can't talk about concerns they might have. Doesn't mean we won't address their questions. It just means that we're being hired to do a job, and we know how to do that job, and that job does involve their cooperation, and it's not optional. If you have a problem with that, click off. Do not book this call. Do not move forward. I'm not trying to be rude. I do want to help you, but if you can't get with that, we can't help you. One last thing has to do with the trial. So, and I'm just going to go straight for the head here. So this trial is for 30 days. That 30 days is not for free services. It's not. There's no way for that. It's the setup work that, if I'm being very honest with you, the setup work that I detailed from phase 1 to 3, open market, honestly, that alone is probably worth $1,200 to $2,000. You won't get that anywhere and not pay that just for that. And I'm just saying that, I'm not saying that to make you feel a certain way. I'm just telling you that in this process, it's very easy for people to feel that we aren't doing anything or we haven't done anything if they don't sound good yet. But I'm here to tell you, it does take a lot of work to get to this point. And this is how much I believe in what I'm doing. And I believe that I can help you is because I'm willing to do it for free for 30 days because I know you're going to be happy. And if you're not, it's my fault. And I'll either fix it or apologize for wasting your time. But I know that we can help you. But yeah, that is really important. The goal here is to give you a clear picture of what you will get. And to be honest with you, that shouldn't take 4 services. It should take 1, 2 tops. The one being maybe something didn't go well and you guys are still understanding, whether it be our fault or a fault of someone on your end not following our instructions. That does happen. Another thing that does happen is that sometimes there are delays. Sometimes your drummer calls in sick and like, well, I can't build a mix without your drummer or your bass player or your main worship leader. That extends things for a week. We're not going to penalize anybody for that. We're very cool about that. Like, we're not going to, oh, well, that's just too bad. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? We'll give you another week. Like, that's fine. Things like that are fine. Things like that are going to happen. Like, we are going to give you at least that 1 to 2 services. But here's the thing. You should have a pretty clear idea about what you want to do once you've had 1 to 2 services. Actually, probably just 1, because it should be like, if we've unapologetically done our job and it's been good, if not great, way better than what you had. You know what I'm saying? You should know, and you should know what you want to do. And as a father, as a husband, as a business owner, as a leader of men and women, I ask you to understand that, hey, you know, we have to do our best to mitigate the minimization of what this takes to earn your business when we're not getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Again, if you're a decent human being, I think you can understand that. That's what we're trying to do. And I'm not trying to say we're going to do the bare minimum, but we are going to do what's required. But I mean, we're probably, if somebody's all like, I'd like to hear another one. I'd like to hear you. I'd like to do this. And then, you know what I'm saying? We're probably going to be pretty resistant to that, to be honest. Doesn't mean that if you decide to sign a contract, we won't work on those things that you want to hear differently. We absolutely will. What I'm saying is that we're not going to work for a whole month to then, you know what I'm saying, when you should be looking for, wow, this is 60, 70, 80% way better right off the bat than what it was. That's the guarantee. That's what we're shooting for. Not perfect, not everything you want, not make all your wildest dreams come true within these 30 days. That could be more of a process. And again, father, husband, leader of men and women, I ask you, I beseech you to keep in mind, we're doing a lot of work here before we start charging you. And like I said, I think I've made my point there. I think you understand what I'm saying. That's all I've really got to say. Yeah, feel free to respond to this. Don't comment on the video on YouTube. We won't see that. The text, we have a text, and if you're on Slack already, DM me on Slack. I don't care. Like, I'll respond. I'll help you. We want to help you. Our pricing is to help. We want to help the church. That's what we're here to do. This ended up being 14 minutes long. Hope that's okay. I hope you made it this far. Cool. See you on the other side.